DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Welcome to FLX Weekly here on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. I'm Jim Seneca inside the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls, New York. Today, we'll welcome back Michelle Grasek of Seneca Falls Acupuncture to the studio. We'll be doing a live cosmetic acupuncture treatment, so stick around, check it out. But first, this episode of FLX Weekly is brought to you by West & Company Diamonds and Jewelry. Get your Valentine's Day trifecta at West & Company Diamonds and Jewelry on Genesee Street in Auburn. Make any purchase of $250 or more, and West & Company will throw in 6 red roses in a mini chocolate box. Check them out online at westandcompany.com or stop in and browse their selections at 10 Genesee Street in downtown Auburn. And also, The Perfect Pair Eatery. Quality carry-out cuisine in Seneca Falls. Everything is made fresh with in-house smoked meats, comfort classics, desserts, and sweet treats sure to please the entire family for lunch or dinner. Also offering business lunch drop-off on Monday and Tuesday. Reach out at perfectpaireatery.com or call 315-712-4004 and look for the yellow door at 64 West Baird Street. And a quick tip for you fans of Perfect Pair, the caramel apple oatmeal cookie, whatever they put in those cookies, can't get enough of those. You'll know them when you see them when you stop in on Baird Street. So, Michelle, welcome back to the show and to the studio.
Thank you so much for having us.
And we're going to do a live cosmetic acupuncture treatment now. A lot of questions, and we'll get to them as you're performing the procedures here. But how has business been going? I mean, how many years now has it been?
So it will be 6 years in May. It's been good. We've had a very busy January.
6 years, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It seems like just yesterday. Time flies.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you introduce our client or patient? What do you call someone who comes in for a patient or
A patient.
A
Yep.
patient? Okay.
Yeah. So this is Ashley, our wonderful patient. She's back with us again.
We've seen her here before.
Yes.
And so a little bit about what we're going to be doing with Ashley.
Sure. So I'm going to demonstrate almost like a mini cosmetic acupuncture treatment. So cosmetic acupuncture is a specialized style of treatment for fine lines and wrinkles and wrinkle prevention. So the goal is to help build collagen in the skin. So I'll demonstrate that, and then we'll also do what's called a gua sha face massage at the end, and that comes at the end of every treatment.
Okay, well, why don't you get started, and I'll just chat with you while you're performing the acupuncture. First, a lot of people, when they think of acupuncture, they think of pain relief, stress relief. I think that a lot of people maybe don't know the cosmetic benefits of acupuncture. So how does it actually work in terms of, cosmetic enhancements?
Well, the idea is that every time you put a needle in the skin, your body has a natural healing response, and that is to repair the area by bringing protein to the area, which happens to be collagen and elastin. So with repeated treatments, you can see a difference in reduced wrinkles and fine lines and smoother skin. It can also help acne.
Is it preventative or restorative?
It can be both. We have some patients who have specific wrinkles that they want to work on, and then we have other patients who don't really have many wrinkles yet, and they want to prevent them.
So I got to ask you, Ashley, does it hurt?
No.
No, okay.
It's relaxing. You might feel a little pinprick at first, but once the needle's in, it's very comfortable.
Okay, so now you're targeting areas of Ashley's face that you've discussed with her previously that she's concerned about, or are you kind of making the decision and kind of taking a whole face approach here?
That's a really good question. So in cosmetic acupuncture, there are some major points on the face that we always needle, really no matter what the patient is concerned with. But if someone had a specific area of their face that they really wanted me to focus on, I would do that as well. I would add extra points for that with different techniques.
So this is obviously a 30-minute show, but if it was an actual appointment downstairs in your office here, because Seneca Falls Acupuncture is located right here in the 12 North Park building. Our studio's on the 3rd floor, and Michelle's office is on the 1st floor. How long will these needles stay in once you insert them?
So typically the whole treatment is an hour, but the needles are usually in for about 35 minutes.
Okay. And is this like a one and done thing? You come in once and you get it done, you're good to go for a while? Like how many treatments do you need to see the cosmetic benefits?
So the recommendation is 2 treatments a week for 5 weeks or 1 treatment a week for 10 weeks. And that is really the best way to see, how much change can cosmetic acupuncture give you in your face.
Okay.
We do offer a standalone cosmetic treatment just called the Acupuncture Glow Facial for people who want to give it a try if they're not sure if they are ready to do 10 treatments. But for lasting results, usually the 10 treatments is the standard.
So, a lot of people, when they think about cosmetic type of facial enhancements or management, they think of Botox. How does this work with Botox or in place of Botox? I mean, I know a lot of people get these Botox treatments nowadays. If someone comes in and they're getting Botox treatment, does that mean they can't do the cosmetic acupuncture, or?
They can. So usually we recommend that people who have had Botox wait 3 weeks before they get cosmetic acupuncture. The idea is that cosmetic acupuncture can actually help metabolize the Botox a little bit faster. And we don't want that because someone just spent a lot of money to have Botox and look a certain way. And we want that to last as long as possible. But cosmetic acupuncture can be really nice basically to help the skin continue looking good with Botox after 3 weeks.
Because
3 weeks
Botox,
later.
you get it done and then it kind of goes away after a period of time. This is more of a, ongoing wellness type of application, I suppose, that could supplement the Botox.
Yeah, and I think the way that cosmetic acupuncture and Botox work is kind of opposite. So sometimes people are interested in cosmetic acupuncture because it doesn't focus or doesn't work like Botox. So we know Botox paralyzes the muscle so that you can't make a face that would cause wrinkles over time, right? Whereas cosmetic acupuncture, we're actually trying to build collagen, improve circulation or blood flow to the skin, and that increased blood flow brings with it oxygen and nutrients that the skin needs to heal and really look its best. So, and I should add, cosmetic acupuncture usually comes with a full body acupuncture treatment to address the person's overall health. We're not doing that today, but typically I would ask the patient if they have any symptoms they want to work on, because the concept for cosmetic acupuncture is that beautiful skin is really rooted in good health. So we want to make sure that we're also managing how all the internal organs are functioning, are the hormones balanced. So if that is important to someone, they might not be interested in Botox, and they would usually choose cosmetic acupuncture. But some people do choose both. It really just depends on what approach do they want to take to their wrinkles, like a whole body, whole health approach. Cosmetic acupuncture is more about skin health, but Botox is quick, immediate, and it usually lasts for 6 months. So it depends on what the person is looking for.
Okay, I got you. And also in terms of like facial care, obviously there's lots of scrubs and creams, and does a patient have to be careful of what they put on their skin before or after an acupuncture treatment, or can they just basically go about their normal routine?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So after acupuncture, people can put their makeup back on and go right back to work. So we also offer something called microneedling, and people might be a little bit more familiar with that. It has a similar function to cosmetic acupuncture in that you are creating these tiny little micro traumas in the face and the body is repairing it with collagen and elastin. But microneedling is a much more intense treatment, and for 24 hours after that, for example, you can't wear sunscreen or makeup or get sweaty or go in the water. Cosmetic acupuncture, you can do whatever you like after treatment.
So you do offer the microneedling as well?
Yes.
And so how would that look different than this?
So with microneedling, I should have brought it with me. We actually have a device called a microneedling pen, and that's just what it looks like. And you turn it on, and it has these teeny tiny little needles that go at 18,000 RPMs. And you basically would put some serum on the face, and you would glide it over the skin. So it's like we usually call cosmetic acupuncture like a very light dose of microneedling. Microneedling is pretty intense. You can only do it once a month, and the recommendation is 3 treatments.
3 treatments over 3 months?
Yep.
Okay,
Exactly.
so 1 a month.
Yep.
Is that something that can be done, and can you do the microneedling and then while you're doing this, the standard acupuncture treatments, or would they be 2 separate regimens?
So you can get regular like body acupuncture while you're getting your microneedling treatment. We usually recommend if people want cosmetic acupuncture that along with microneedling that they stagger it about 2 weeks apart.
Okay. Ashley, have you ever done the microneedling?
No, I just love my AccuGlow facial so much. But maybe I'll give it a try this year.
I was really just checking in to make sure you're still awake. So you look very relaxed and comfortable. And it is kind of odd. You have needles coming out of your face, but you still look so like relaxed and comfortable. And that's one of the other, I guess, benefits to this type of acupuncture is it forces you to, take a half hour to an hour out of your day and just kind of unplug and relax.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people fall asleep during acupuncture treatment. Once the needles are in, they just take a nap.
So, what type of results? Like, do you go home after the first cosmetic acupuncture treatment, look in the mirror and say, wow, I can't believe this? Or is it more something that maybe you'll notice the benefits over time?
Yeah, so if a person is doing a series of 10 treatments, typically they'll start to notice a difference around treatment 5 or 6. And that can start with feeling like a little bit of tightness around the cheeks is pretty common. We always take before and after photos. It's really nice for people to see those side by side. And I generally describe the results of cosmetic acupuncture as soft and subtle. And people always want to compare it to Botox, right? So if you have a wrinkle and you put Botox in it, it's gone within a couple days.
Right.
And the difference is noticeable, whereas this is just a gradual change over 5 weeks. It's kind of nice for people who don't want it to be apparent that they are working on their skin, that they've had work done. But I would say that fine lines and wrinkles usually soften with cosmetic acupuncture.
It also seems like with Botox, people can get carried away a little bit, and it really starts to change actually the way their face looks. And some people seem to take it too far, where it's so obvious when a person walks into a room, oh man, they look at the Botox, But this is something that would be a more subtle thing, and something that is healthy long term, like to do this forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we always do a body treatment for general acupuncture. It could be symptoms like digestion, hormone balance, sleep. So we're always addressing that along with every cosmetic treatment. So we have lots of patients who are at the point where they just do monthly maintenance treatments for their cosmetic, and then they get their body treatment at the same time.
Oh, so you can do it at the same time. So you have a issue that you're using acupuncture to solve in some other part of your body, and while you're taking the time to come in and kind of unplug and relax for an hour, you hit both at once.
As long as their condition can be treated face up. So if they had back pain.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you don't want to be face down
Right.
with those. That makes sense.
But yes, for most things, we can definitely add it on.
All right. And again, still even no pain at all at this point, Ashley?
No, feels nice.
So once the needles are in, you will basically, what's the experience like in the office? Do you leave the room and then come back after a period of time?
So I usually let people rest for about 30 minutes. Sometimes when patients are new, if they let me know that they're a little nervous about acupuncture, I will offer to pop in the room halfway through and check on them, make sure they're still comfortable. Usually I end up interrupting their nap, but that's fine. But for the most part, patients are happy to be left alone for 30, 35 minutes so they can sleep. The office is very quiet. We try to keep it nice and warm and cozy. We have quiet music. It's kind of a spa-like atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful in there.
Thank you.
What about men versus women as far as cosmetic acupuncture goes? Is there any men that are on the cosmetic regimen? Like
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say it's probably 95% women, but we definitely have male patients who come in who have specific things they want to work on.
do the needles hurt coming out, Ashley?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't even want to leave. They like it in there.
So this was an abbreviated, obviously for the show treatment. It would be a little longer, but you end the treatment with the gua sha massage.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So. let
And
me
what are the
show you.
benefits of that in conjunction with the acupuncture? I mean, obviously there's a reason why you're doing it.
So the gua sha massage and acupuncture have some of the same goals. So they are both improving circulation in the skin. But of course, acupuncture is doing that from the inside out, and then gua sha is doing that externally over the top of the skin. And so these are some gua sha tools. People are probably more familiar with this one, or
Is
maybe.
that like a mineral?
Yep. So this is amethyst, polished amethyst. You'll also see them really commonly in jade or rose quartz.
Okay.
And in our office, we use stainless steel, so we can sanitize them properly in between treatments.
Sure.
So I will do a little demo of a gua sha face massage. I could barely pronounce that.
Gua sha.
Face
Gua shua. Gua sha, right? Gua sha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
And what's the origination of that word? Like what region of the world does this originate from?
So it's a Chinese word, and if I recall correctly, it means scraping, and sha means like a little bit of redness that can come to the surface of the skin when you're doing the massage. And if you Google gua sha, you'll probably see images that came from like a medical gua sha for things like releasing tight upper back muscles. So there's really two different kinds of gua sha. One is much more intense, and it can make the skin pretty red. It's not hurting the person, but it looks like a little bit vivid red. So that is more for getting rid of muscle knots, releasing tight muscles, and the style that I'm going to do on the face is very soft and gentle.
So what's this you're putting on right now?
So this is a face oil made with avocado oil and Chinese herbs for skincare. I'll just drop some on there. So we use this oil in every treatment. I've actually been using it for about 15 years since I first learned this technique.
And so every patient who has the cosmetic acupuncture treatment, this is how you do it for everybody.
Yes, yeah. The only time we use a different oil is if someone says they have an allergy to one of the ingredients. So we have a couple backup oils. But this one is very popular. It probably looks shiny on camera, but once it's massaged in for 10 or 15 minutes, it's really not greasy. It's very light.
This has got to be the best part, huh, Ashley?
I love all the parts for their own reasons, for sure.
So while you're doing the massage, if someone's interested, how do they start? Who do they contact? Where do they look?
So they can make an appointment on our website, which is senecafallsacupuncture.com. And if they want to do the full 10 treatment protocol, then the first step would be to book a free cosmetic consult. And basically we'll talk about their skin and their goals and what to expect. And then if they're ready, we can book all of their sessions. But I find that most people like to come into the office, see what it's like, have a chat with me or Melody, the other acupuncturist, and then decide if they're ready to go. Or they could book an acupuncture glow facial, which is a standalone cosmetic treatment. That's the one we were talking about before. If they just want to give it a try and see what it's like.
And you should mention acupuncture is 1C. I think a lot of people try to spell it ACC.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's just one. So Seneca Falls Acupuncture.com. Acupuncture just with the 1C in the beginning. ACUPUNCTURE.
Perfect.
And you come right up on Google searches too if you just search for Seneca Falls Acupuncture, even if you spelled it wrong.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
So, how many people come in? Just a percentage maybe that have had acupuncture before in other parts. Maybe they moved to the area, or and how many come to you for like the very first time they've ever done anything like this?
I would say maybe 50% of people have never tried acupuncture before. I'm always impressed when people come in for an acupuncture glow facial and it's their first acupuncture experience. And they are ready for me to put needles in their face. That's super. They're so tiny. They're really not what people are expecting.
Yeah, it's not like a shot in the doctor's office.
Exactly,
People get really
yes.
stressed out when they see that needle come out, whether you need it for whatever you need it for. But this is a much smaller needle, and as Ashley said, it's not painful. I mean, obviously, you want to feel it a little bit, right? Like you want to.
You don't have to. I mean, at some points you might feel a tiny bit because of the area that they're in, like points near the ear or next to the nose can be very sensitive.
Sure.
It depends on the person. Others, those points don't bother them at all.
Man, I just the facial massage seems like the best part. I could sit there for a couple hours while someone was doing that to my face. Are those tools that you're using, are they like room temperature? Do you cool them down?
They're room temperature. They do feel really nice and cool on the skin because the cosmetic acupuncture brings a lot of circulation to the skin, so people tend to feel like their face is a little warm right after cosmetic acupuncture, and then the cool gua sha stone is a really nice contrast.
That's pretty awesome. So we were talking about Botox, and we were talking about obviously microneedling and acupuncture. Topical types of treatments. What's red light therapy? That's something I've heard a lot about for skin care. Do you have any experience with that, or offer that, or like what? How does that work into the whole suite of treatments?
We do. We have a Saluma skincare LED light, and basically it is an FDA cleared device, and it's FDA cleared for wrinkles and acne. And so the idea is that the light is at a very specific wavelength. So the red light is for wrinkles, which means that it's helping the body basically use energy faster so that it can produce collagen faster. So what we'll do is when the person is resting with the points in their face, like Ashley was earlier, we'll put the Saluma light over their face, kind of like a rainbow. And it will just be turned on while they're napping. And then it has an automatic timer. It turns off after 30 minutes. And there's a blue light that is specific for acne. It kills acne bacteria selectively on the surface of the skin. So it's not killing the good bacteria on your skin. And so if we have acne patients, we'll set it on the blue light setting for them.
Blue and red light therapy. That's definitely interesting. I've seen that type of therapy too for hair loss. They build like these little helmets that you put on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And this isn't, you were professionally trained for this. I mean, you went to school for it.
Yeah.
It's not like, I guess, if maybe you went back 20 years, people would have thought that maybe this was, voodoo or ultra alternative, but it's become mainstream now, and like there's degrees, it's a viable alternative or a viable solution for a lot of these problems, not just cosmetic, but other types of medical issues. And how, from when you decided to get into this field till now, have you noticed like people's attitudes change toward it, or just society in general? It just seems like it's more like, if, for instance, 20 years ago you told somebody I'm going to go get acupuncture, people would be like, holy cow, like, what's up with that? But now I think people would be like, oh, it's just a normal thing that someone would do. You notice that change, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in practice almost 15 years, and I have definitely noticed that its acceptance has improved a lot. And it just depends on the person, if they've ever been exposed to it. But I do remember in the beginning of my practice answering the question, like, what is acupuncture? What's that for? A lot more. And now people's questions are, they're more nuanced, they're more complex. So people are definitely more familiar with it. And even cosmetic acupuncture has really just sort of caught on in popular culture in maybe the past 4 or 5 years. So people are finally getting used to cosmetic acupuncture as well, where they have heard of it before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, if this looks like something you're interested in, SenecaFallsAcupuncture.com is the best place to start. Get a look at the website on the screen. Certainly, Michelle and Seneca Falls Acupuncture have become, one of the most known and accredited. You saw some awards on there for the FLX Best. You saw that there was an appearance on Bridge Street on Channel 9 in Syracuse. So it's if it's something you're interested in, by all means, Seneca Falls Acupuncture is the place to start.com, SenecaFallsAcupuncture.com. Centrally located here, easy to get to from Auburn or Geneva or even Canandaigua, here in Seneca Falls. And thanks again for coming in and showing us this. I guess it was an express treatment. We kind of squeezed it in about maybe half the time that a normal treatment would take for the show. But I hope it showed everybody, how easy it is, how relaxing it is. And then, Ashley can probably speak to the benefits, because you don't just come in and do it in the studio. You're a regular patient, right?
Yep, I go for chronic back pain, and Michelle keeps all my wrinkles at bay. So
yeah, that's great. And so for the back pain too, you've noticed that positive outcomes.
definitely, over time, I've really changed my pain levels, and I go about my day-to-day life with a lot more comfort, and it can give me some immediate relief too. So if I'm having a really tough time, I just come and see her, and
You feel better when you leave.
definitely.
Okay, well that's pretty awesome. And again, for whatever your specific needs are, SenecFallsAcupuncture.com. Consult with Michelle, come up with a plan, and go for it. I think at the very least, it's good for your mental health too. To be able to just relax. It's like a visit to the spa, with the extra cosmetic or medical benefits that you might be looking for. So thanks again, Michelle, for coming up and bringing up the equipment. And Ashley, thanks for, again, I hope you give her these treatments for free.
I do, yeah.
Okay, good. So anyways, again, SenecFallsAcupuncture.com. Valentine's Day coming up. What's going on next week, Paul? You remember who our guest next week is? I know I should. Well, anyway, check the front page of Finger Lakes One. But thanks for joining us today here on FLX Weekly. If you enjoyed the show, click like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back next week. Until then, have a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes.